You know what? This is just like a breath of fresh air. I'm not kidding. I think it's been day 5, day 6. I don't even know what day it is, to be honest. But it's just everyone's in it for the right reason. Everyone's in it. You have great energy. You have great people. And at the end of the day, everyone's putting aside their agendas and doing what's best for the team. And let me tell you, it is refreshing, and everyone's excited to be here.
Fox News just compared Caitlin Clark to Jackie Robinson, calling her the Jackie Robinson of the WNBA. But is this comparison fair, or just another chapter in the growing culture war using Clark as its centerpiece? With Sophie Cunningham now joining the Fever, the team has made one thing crystal clear. The days of Clark getting pushed around are over. Cunningham, a taekwondo black belt, has publicly declared she's there to make sure nobody takes cheap shots at her teammates. The question isn't if she'll defend Clark, it's how far she's willing to go. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
The ones coming this year will still be on the rookie contract again. The ones that the year after, they gonna get more. They probably gonna be making more than us.
No, they are.
Who's that?
I'm hurt.
They are. Like, yeah. I've been in the meetings. They are.
I need to get in the. I need to get in the field.
You need to come to the meetings.
I gotta get in the meetings because I'm hearing like, yeah, they don't give us. If y'all don't give us what we want, like. We sitting out.
That's a possibility, for real.
The Jackie Robinson comparison, that's what's heating up social media right now. The debate is exploding everywhere. Is Caitlin Clark really facing the same kind of challenges as a man who broke baseball's color barrier and received death threats just for stepping on the field? People are fighting about this non-stop. Right-wing media has turned Clark into something way bigger than just basketball. Fox News and Outkick aren't just talking about her crossover or her three-point shot. No, they're pushing this idea that she's being targeted specifically because she's white and straight in a league that's mostly black. They're not subtle about it either. You know what David Webb from Fox News actually said on air? He straight up called her the Jackie Robinson of the WNBA and claimed she is getting abused. This man really compared some hard fouls against a rookie to what Jackie Robinson went through. The death threats, the racial slurs, people trying to spike him with their cleats. That's wild, right? The comparison doesn't make sense when you think about what Robinson actually faced. Clay Travis from Outkick took things even further. He didn't just say Clark needs protection because she's a star rookie getting the normal rookie treatment. He specifically said it's about her identity. In his exact words, I think there are lots of reasons for that unfairness, and everybody has their opinions. But I think certainly that, in my opinion, it is jealousy. I think it's race. I think it's orientation. He kept pushing this narrative that Clark faces resentment because she's a white, straight woman in a league with mostly black and lesbian players. These media figures keep showing the same clips over and over. They zoom in on every interaction between Clark and Angel Reese. Every time Clark hits the floor, they replay it 10 times. They show these moments to their viewers who might not even watch regular WNBA games, and those viewers get angry. They see only the clips without the context of how physical pro basketball actually is. Remember when Clark didn't make the Olympic team? That became another huge battleground. Conservative outlets weren't just disappointed, they were demanding investigations. GOP lawmakers and former Republican presidential candidates got involved, claiming it was reverse discrimination, as if the selection committee was thinking about anything other than basketball when making their picks. Meanwhile, actual basketball analysts and former players kept pointing out something important. Rookies always get tested physically. It doesn't matter if you're the #1 pick or the last person on the bench. Veterans make rookies prove they belong. It happened to LeBron. It happened to Steph Curry. It happens to everyone. This isn't something unique to Clark. It's just basketball. The problem is all this culture war stuff has real consequences. You've got protesters and counter-protesters showing up outside arenas now. People who barely watch basketball are buying tickets just to make political statements. The game is turning into political theater instead of, actual basketball. Inside the Fever locker room, things got tense. Players were reportedly frustrated that nobody was talking about their actual games anymore. Every interview, every press conference turned into questions about these political debates instead of pick and rolls or zone defense. These are professional athletes who just want to focus on their sport, not get pulled into culture wars they never asked to join. Then Sophie Cunningham showed up at training camp and everything changed. The energy shifted immediately. Players looked relieved to finally have someone who could change the conversation. Cunningham didn't come in talking talking about politics or culture wars. She came in talking basketball and team protection. The other Fever players were ready for someone to help shift the focus back to the court. They want headlines about their wins and losses, not about which political commentators said what about their teammate. Cunningham's arrival meant they could start focusing on basketball again. You can almost feel the collective sigh of relief from the Fever players. They finally have someone who can absorb some of the non-basketball attention and redirect it. Cunningham isn't interested in the culture war narratives. She's interested in winning games and protecting her teammates. All of them, not just Clark. The locker room dynamic completely changed when Cunningham showed up. Players were smiling again, joking during practice. The tense atmosphere that had built up from being caught in this media crossfire started to fade. For the first time in months, the Indiana Fever could focus on being basketball players instead of political symbols in someone else's argument. Sophie Cunningham stepped into Fever practice and everything changed. The energy in the room just shifted. Players stood up straighter, smiles appeared. But wait, why is everyone so excited about a player who only averages 9 points per game? That's not exactly superstar numbers, right? Here's the thing, Cunningham isn't your average veteran. She's built a reputation across the WNBA as someone who never, ever backs down. Not from anyone. She's that player who gets under opponents' skin, who plays physical, who isn't afraid to mix it up when things get heated, and she's got the skills to back up her attitude. When word got around that Cunningham has a black belt in taekwondo, players across the league took notice. This wasn't just about adding another shooter or defender. They were bringing in someone with actual combat training. Think about that for a second. How would you feel going up against someone who could literally take you down with their bare hands if they wanted to? During her first media session at training camp, Cunningham made her intentions crystal clear. She didn't dance around it or use PR language. She straight up said, "I'm here to make sure nobody takes cheap shots at our players. That stops now." The message wasn't subtle at all. It wasn't supposed to be. She wanted everyone in the league to hear exactly what she was saying. Cunningham didn't develop this protective mindset overnight. She learned it playing alongside legends like Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner. Those years taught her exactly how to handle the spotlight and protect star players. She even said herself, "I understand what it's like to have every move scrutinized." That veteran wisdom is exactly what the Fever need right now. The crazy part, this isn't just about adding one tough player. The Fever's entire strategy goes deeper. They've created a whole protective wall around Clark by bringing in Natasha Howard, Brianna Turner, and Dana Bonner too. This isn't random. It's a calculated move to make sure Clark has protection from all angles on the court. This protection strategy isn't new in basketball. NBA teams did the same thing with young superstars like LeBron James and Steph Curry. Remember when teams would sign enforcers just to keep other players from roughing up their stars? The Fever are taking that proven NBA approach and applying it to the WNBA. Smart move, honestly. What makes Cunningham special isn't just her willingness to get physical. She's creating a whole new team culture where every player stands up for each other. She emphasizes that players need to know and love each other off the court because that naturally translates to on-court chemistry and a willingness to fight for each other. She's building a family, not just a team. Cunningham's black belt isn't just a fun fact for commentators to mention during games. It's a psychological weapon. Imagine you're thinking about giving Clark an extra hard screen or a subtle elbow. Then you remember her teammate has years of martial arts training. You might think twice, right? That hesitation is exactly what Cunningham is counting on. Her basketball skills make her even more dangerous as Clark's protector. She's deadly accurate from three-point range, which forces defenders to stay honest and creates more space for Clark to operate. Now teams face a terrible choice. Focus on stopping Clark and leave Cunningham open for threes, or cover Cunningham and give Clark room to work. During a recent practice, something interesting happened. Cunningham reportedly showed off some of her taekwondo moves. Her teammates were watching with wide eyes as she demonstrated her skills. The message spread quickly throughout the league: mess with Clark at your own risk. You're not just dealing with a teammate who'll yell at you or push back. You're dealing with someone who knows exactly how to handle herself. Cunningham's basketball IQ is another underrated aspect of her protection skills. She can read the court and anticipate threats before they even happen. She knows when an opponent is getting frustrated and might lash out. She can spot dangerous situations developing and position herself to intervene. It's like having a personal security system for Clark that's always scanning for trouble. The energy around the Fever is completely different now. Players seem more relaxed, more confident. They know someone has their back. They know they're not alone out there anymore. For a young team dealing with unprecedented attention and pressure, that feeling of security is invaluable. Cunningham hasn't just added 9 points per game to the roster. She's added a sense of safety that might might be worth way more than any stat could show. The Fever just turned all this culture war noise into something brilliant. They've built their whole team identity around protecting Clark. It's not just about defense, it's about attitude. They're saying, yeah, we heard what you all were saying, and we fixed it. Natasha Howard summed it up perfectly when she said, I'm excited to return to Indiana and bring my experience and toughness to the team. That's the whole point, toughness. So forget all the debate about whether Clark is treated unfairly or just paying rookie dues. With Cunningham standing guard, those easy fouls are done. The only question that matters now, can this enforcer mentality actually win games?